Did you see the DoorDash driver who got into an accident and they asked his wife to finish the order?
DoorDash did?
No.
Yeah.
Get
So
out of here.
Miranda is the wife of this man, and so this man was in a car accident while working DoorDash. He got into an accident while working on the platform and was taken to the hospital. So I, quote unquote, I was at work running my shift when I felt my phone go off. Miranda, his wife, told Newsweek. I thought it was my boss calling, but it was when the phone rang, it was handed to me that it was urgent. She then found out that her husband had been in a car accident and that the car was completely destroyed.
Wow.
After arranging her job to be covered, she got a ride to the hospital. And she quotes here again, I was so stressed because even though I was told he seemed fine, I had to see for myself. I cried so much getting there. She's kind of explaining the story. He freaked out when she got there and he said, oh my God, I didn't finish the order. And so, you know, if I was her, I'd have been like, seriously.
Who gives a shit?
It's in the car that's demolished.
Yeah, like
no, I guess he had his phone. So he tried canceling it. But he was all over the place and he didn't know what to do. And this is his wife's quote. So I tried helping and accidentally called the customer. She answered and I let her know. She found a contact support button and it gave me a bot. And after clicking the option to cancel, it said that I was being connected to an agent. Okay, so now a human gets on. So in the screenshot conversation, Miranda told the DoorDash support worker that her husband was in an emergency room and she wasn't sure how to cancel the order. The support worker replied, too bad to know about the situation. Will you be able to complete the order?
That's a good old DoorDash support. They're reading off a script.
Not even reading it.
I know, but even a human being can hear. Yeah. Dude, my husband, his car was totaled. He's in ER.
I have a problem with them even worrying about trying to cancel an order and contact support and call a customer. Who cares at that point? Like, I'm not doing any of those things. If I'm in an accident, that's the last thing on my mind. That's just me. I'm not calling
time out.
Well, then she goes on to say, I honestly let out a laugh when I was asked if I could deliver the food. So she showed her husband. It cheered him up a bit because he was able to laugh as well. And then here's her quote. Honestly, it didn't surprise me, but at the same time, my husband and I were both had a "Are you effing for real?" kind of in our head thought, like what is this? And even especially because a human came on. So this is the DoorDash spokesperson now talking to Newsweek because he avoided him for 2 days, and then he finally had to give us a quote. So he says, "This interaction with our support team falls below the high standards we set for ourselves at DoorDash, especially during a distressing and scary time. We take these matters seriously and are urgently investigating."
That took 2 days for him to say that?
Yeah, and here's my other part. Do you think they're doing any of that?
No.
Yeah. If they find that guy and they're firing him, I mean, that's what they mean by investigating it.
They're not even going to do. They're not going to do nothing. They're not even going to investigate it.
I won't even get into this because it gets worse. But it goes on to say how DoorDash has SafeDash, which is ADT, and it kind of talks about what I've always said about ADT, which is okay. Well, why do you need ADT in the car? Can't you just call 911? Because it literally even says. SafeDash includes a number of features, including a safety reassurance call, where a dasher can quickly connect to an ADT agent through the app if they feel unsafe. ADT will remain on the line until the person is safe, or if needed, escalate it to 911. Again, I'm calling 911, guys. I don't need ADT.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you put that confusing thing in there.
I just love how they say that it falls below high standards. I think we can all say what standards.
Well, the other part about that is not putting out a remark for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then that, because it's like, we have high standards. Your high standards would be to reply 20 minutes after it happened.
There's a lot of things falling below those high standards, it seems.
Yeah.
A small business,
like, if you came and complained at a business about food that you had, and then the manager comes out they probably would say something like that, but it won't take 2 days to call you and like, yeah, that meal you had fell below our standards. Yeah, it obviously did, right? So it just makes DoorDash look bad, which is a common occurrence sometimes.
makes
Here.
I know, but the fact that it got escalated from a bot because it said things like emergency room, I would think like the integration of some of these other bots that are supposed to help them, especially the untrained people getting on the phone, would like say, okay, emergency room, car crash, totaled. Like maybe this needs to be escalated to the next level up from me, who will actually
Instantly.
talk to the person nicely and have answers.
Yeah.
I like that Nova said maybe support agent got distracted by the rooster in the background.
Come on,
that.
Nova.
Well, I have a question.
I agree, man.
I have a question. So you get in a car accident, a bad one. Think about the amount of time from the accident. You have to go to the emergency room. The wife gets there. She meets you. Probably taking a little bit of time to have that happen. So this order's just sitting in his app. Like nobody wasn't it? Like I don't. It seems the story seems weird because like I would imagine at least 30 minutes has transpired, right? At least.
Yeah.
So what like doesn't the app already cancel it? Wouldn't a customer call?
Because they'll be like, my food stopped and now it's going the opposite way.